sure we're not going to get on our phones tonight. We're not going to be distracted. Let's make the main thing the main thing. Let's get into it. Let's go, God. God, I thank you for these people. God, each and every one of them feels things in their heart and their life that are hard. And what many of them are striving for and searching for, God, is this love that they need. And they search for it sometimes in the wrong places, and sometimes they're denied it in the places that should be given it. But they have this deep need for love. So God, today we come to you and we ask that you be present. Help us learn from you. Help us be moved by you. Help us experience your love. So, amen. What's that? Amen. Very nice. All right, so you can go get started. All right. Now, how many of y'all, because this has been my experience, have ever been at church and people told you, don't wear your hat in the cigarette? Or they told you, no, we do not cuss at church. Or maybe they told you, you're not wearing the right clothes for church. You should not dress your best. Or how many of y'all have just gone to church in general and you've dealt with people that are kind of like holier than thou, just looking down on y'all, just like, oh, can't believe they let these guys know. Whether that's been your experience or not, this is a reality that has been in the church since the beginning of time. This is something that goes on. People make rules where you can't wear a hat in church. You know what? The Bible never says that. I one time, there's a place where it says don't have your head uncovered, and actually, I wore a beanie one time for church, and I preached, and someone in the church sent me this verse that it says you're supposed to have your head uncovered, and I'm like, yeah, but the next verse says all the women should have their heads covered. So, okay, I'll take my beanie, we'll put beanies on all the women. It's this weird thing that people make the thing about them that's not the thing. They're like, this is the most important thing. You don't bring food and water into the sanctuary. You don't do this at the church. That's not what church is about. You don't cuss at church. You don't use that language. That's not what church is. And what's difficult is people make places or things bigger or more special than they should be. One thing I hear this all the time, because guys, this is kind of like a pet peeve of mine. I'm not like upset about it, but like it irks me a little bit. Because we'll have teams, you guys come, and you'll be playing basketball, doing something, whatever, and you'll mess up, you'll like hit your toe or something like that, and you say a cuss word. And then the person next to you like hits you and says, dude, this is church. No cussing. And here's the thing, cussing is the saying of the cuss words is not actually a sin. It's whenever we do it to hate or tear someone down. So the thing is, that's not a problem. And here's the thing, if your only rule is I'm not going to cuss at church, then that's a problem, because then you are hurting people out there. Again, like stubbing your toes up, I say those things. It happens, but I never use it to tear someone down. And if I do, I apologize. Because it's wrong. I hurt someone. But it's not about the building. It's not about the place. It's not about you're at church, you're supposed to act in a certain way. It's actually the opposite, is that when you come to church, and you allow what God has done to change how you live out there. There's a lot of distractions in that back row. If y'all want anything snack-wise, y'all better. Now, here's the thing. So, the main thing of the main thing, if a church is not preaching this, they're not doing it right. If you go over through a whole month and the church is not talking about this, then you might need to go to a different church. Because the main thing, everything that the Bible points to, everything that Jesus did, points to one word. It's really easy. It's hard to live out. It's one simple thing. It's called love. It's called love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. That's nice. I have romantic love with my wife. We love her. She's awesome. I flirt with her. It's cute. But that's not the love that I'm talking about. my brother, my friends, like we did it, we have fun. It's different. The love that Jesus teaches us and talks to us about is different. Let's look at John 15. Let's look at this verse real quick. John 15, verse 12 says this. This is my commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. Real quick, let's look at this verse right here. Let's look at it. The first thing, this is my what? This is my what? What's that? Commandment, right? What's a commandment? What's a command? You're telling someone, right? You're not asking. You're not saying pretty please. You're saying this is a commandment. If you want to follow me, you gotta do this. If you want to follow me, you gotta do this. And the thing that God commands you, Jesus says right here, Jesus says, this is my commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. And so here's the thing, it's not love each other as y'all love each other, because here's the thing, we don't love each other well. We don't love each other well. We're pretty bad at it. We treat each other like crap. We tear one another down with words, with thoughts, with actions. We treat, as a human race, we're very much going to tear people down. And so what Jesus says is just love each other. He says, love like I love you. And whenever he loved the people, he didn't care where they're from. He didn't care about their background. He didn't judge them. He didn't tear them down. He loved them. And the love changed me. This is my commandment. It is unbiased. It is all-encompassing. It is a command. It's not optional. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people that go to church, but do not love. I know a lot of teens that come on Wednesday night every week, but they do not love. I know people who go and they use their words and their actions and they tear people down. So my mother-in-law, she is has been many times a waitress. And she talked about her least favorite time of the week to work was Sunday early afternoon. And here's why, Ezekiel. Okay, we can go look. And here's why. Because people would go to church, and then after church, they'd go eat, and they'd be very rude and hateful to the waiters and waitresses. They would speak cruel things and be rude and impatient and all stuff. And so there are many people who go to church who say, I'm a Christian, who say, I'm a this, but you can look at their life, and if they're not loving, they're not following the command. They're not. And here's the thing. If you are going to be a follower of Christ, you have to love. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. It doesn't mean you're going to be every time loving, patient, perfect person. No, but it means you're going to be living that love even when it's hard. You're going to be working to love better. I love my wife, and I care for her so many times, but there's times where I fail. But I'm working. And people can see that I love her because I'm working. You are meant to love like Jesus. Now, here's the thing also. It's a nice thing about February. February is the month of love. Oh my goodness. You got Valentine's Day, you got all this stuff coming. It's like, oh my goodness, little hearts everywhere. It's great. But here's the thing. A lot of us are really good with loving if it doesn't actually cost me anything. Love doesn't, love, guys. All right, listen. We got way too much chatting. Ezekiel, we don't need that, okay? Listen. We're really good at loving when it doesn't cost us anything. I can be a really good husband, but then whenever Victoria, if she asks me something and I don't really want to get up, that's a very simple thing, and I'm not willing to do it. And that sounds funny or it sounds silly, but I know so many men that wouldn't even stand up for their women. I know many men who not even give their women time of day. I know men who will treat women like they're objects. And not even treat them. This love that God calls us to, it costs something. And I can tell you why I know it costs something, because the next verse, 15:13, says this. Greater love has no one than this, that a person will lay down his life for his friend. So here's the thing. That's the standard that God is saying. Someone that you're willing to give up even your life to save someone, to love someone, to care for someone. That means if I'm willing to give up my life, that's probably I'm willing to give up some time to help you. I'm willing to give up of myself, finances. I'm willing to give up of little things. If the goal is I'm willing to give up my life to care for you because I love you so much. That's the love we're meant to live. It's a costly love. It's not easy. It's not free. It's not cheap. It is costly. And Christians, too many Christians are not willing to give up their power. They're willing to give up their status or their money to live like this. But I will tell you, if you want to find someone who's Christ-like, they're going to live like this. I've seen people who are atheists. I've seen people who are of different religions more Christ-like than Christians sometimes. That's the main thing. Now, here's the thing. Let's be real. The hardest part about Christianity is something. And if you can tell me, I'll give you this. Raise your hand. This is Pastor Aaron's one of his many phrases. And this is something I say all the time. The hardest part about being a Christian is timing. The other people. Very nice. Get out of my back. You guys all trying to steal that. Alright. So, real quick, I'm going to say it again. Y'all answer, okay? I'm going to start since I'll finish it. The answer is other people, okay? The hardest part about Christianity is other people. Other people. If it's just me and God, we're good. If it's just me and God in my life, we have so much fun. But I got to be with you. If it's just me and God, we're good. But I have to deal with people who are at different places in their life. I gotta deal with people who hurt me. I gotta deal with people who don't listen to me. I gotta deal with people who badmouth me. I gotta deal with people who deceive me. I gotta deal with people who don't respect me. I gotta deal with all these people. And God expects me to love them. That's difficult. You have been hurt. You have been lied to. You have been abused. You have taken things. And God says, love these people. That's different. And it doesn't always look the same. Love doesn't mean like I'm just going to allow you to hurt me again. But love does mean forgiveness. Love does mean caring for people. Love does mean sacrifice. Love means more than just words. More than thoughts and prayers. Love means more. With your friends, it costs something to call them out on things. If your friend is looking at something you know they shouldn't and it's hurting them or hurting people, it costs something to call them out on it. If your friend is joking around or saying things that are actively harming people, it's hard to call them out on it. If you have friends that aren't good for you, it's hard to cut them out even. But the love that God requires moves us into action. The love that God calls you moves you into making that love in your friendships be real. You care for people when they need you, and when they don't, you care. And it goes beyond just friendship, it goes to your family. Guys, I want to say this. Your parents do not get it right all the time. I'm sorry. Your parents don't get it right all the time. And some of y'all be thinking, oh, I know. But here's the reality. You are meant to love your parents. That doesn't mean they're going to always be loving towards you or they're always going to be right towards you, but you are meant to love your parents. It's difficult. When you don't agree, when you don't understand, when you don't get along, it is difficult. But the love God calls you to is a love that is honorable and respectful to the people who raised you. Again, it doesn't mean allowing abuse to happen, but it does mean loving and forgiving and caring. How it looks is different. We can talk about that. But the bottom line is love. And it goes on to your relationships, it goes on to your enemies. Because here's the thing, it's really easy to love someone you get along with. It's hard to love someone you don't. It's hard to love the people that have hurt you. It is difficult, and it's guys, I'm not going to say it's easy, I'm not going to say I have the answers of how you're supposed to love them, because it's going to be different with each person. But you are called to love your enemies. So if your first instinct is I'm going to fight this person, if your first instinct is I'm going to clap back, if your first instinct is I'm going to tear them down, you might need to check yourself. Because that's not the love that God calls you. He calls you something more. Some of y'all getting distracted. So listen. You also might ask, why? Why am I supposed to love them? Why am I supposed to love them? They don't deserve it. Why am I supposed to love them? They don't deserve it. Why am I supposed to love them? Why does God say I'm supposed to love them? Why am I supposed to choose these things? It's difficult. And the simple but very not simple answer is this. It's because it's the only thing that works. It's the only thing that moves healed. It's the only thing that changes things. Fun fact, I've never argued with someone to the point where they change their mind about me. I have loved people and cared for them, and they change their heart. But you cannot abuse, you cannot mistreat people in a way and expect things to get better. Let's put our phones away. I know it's distracting. I want y'all's eyes up here, okay? There's things in your life, and whatever way it is, whether if people are calling you names and hurting you, if you respond to those things, you are not helping the thing. But if you love them, it stops it in its tracks. And if it doesn't, it calls them out. I've seen people be like trying to fight me, and if I love on them instead, they're weirded out. But it stops the fight. It stops the hurt. It's not easy, but love is the only thing that'll work. Right now, we live in a country that is hurting and violent and hate, and people are hating each other, and people are getting angry, and it's understandable because people are being mistreated. It makes sense. And why are you telling me to love? It's because it's the only thing that will stop it. Love looks like standing up to those who can't. Love looks like standing in between the person who's hurting and the person who's being hurt. Love looks like sacrifice. And it's the only thing that will actually make a difference. 1 John 4:19 says this. We love because he first loved us. The last answer to why are we supposed to love is because God loved you. God loved me. I don't deserve his love. I haven't earned it. I haven't done enough. I could never. How much pain I have brought to the people around me. I don't deserve his love, but he loved me anyway. And it's because of that love that I love others. He first loved me, so I'm going to love you. It works. It changes. If you don't believe me, ask Deborah. Deborah was loved, and therefore she became made new. It is through love that we are grown and moved and changed, and we are loved by God. And that should shape how we treat the world. I don't really have much more today. Today I don't have a longer lesson. We're short today, but here's the reason why. I want you to get the main thing. The main thing is the main thing. If you go to church, it's about loving your neighbor. It's about sacrificial love and bringing caring to this world. Caring to the people around you. It means respecting. It means loving. It means not actively trying to hurt someone. It's difficult. It is extremely difficult. But that's the love that God calls us to. He says, if you follow me, you will look like me. So here's what we're going to finish today. Okay, and then we'll do some more. So the one thing we're going to do today, there's you might have not heard of it, it's okay. There's a book in the Bible called 1 Corinthians, and there's a chapter called chapter 13. Now, this verse, this chapter, we're going to read it in a second, it's known as the love verse. And I've seen it used at weddings. It's like, oh my goodness, this is so cute, they're loving each other. And that's nice, it's good to have a wedding, but here's the reality. The word love in this is, the Greek word is agape. Eyes on me? Almost done. The Greek word is agape. It's not a romantic love, but it's a love we're meant to share with each other. So the question is, whenever it's saying love is patient, love is kind, it's not saying I'm going to be there for my boo. You should. But it's saying I should be loving and kind to the person over there. Does everything that says love, it should be you living. When it says love keeps you a record of wrongs, it's talking about you, these guys that are careful. The love that it says is about us in our response to the world. So here's what we're going to do. This is a time of reflection. So I'm really going to ask y'all to not be talking during this time. That's nothing. So listen. I want you to look up here and you're going to read the words. Or you can close your eyes and listen. But what I want you to do in either case is I want you to focus on these words. I want you to focus on what they mean. And I want you to reflect. Take this moment. You hear words all day. You go to school, you read words, you see words. But if you don't focus on anything today, focus on this. I'm going to read this love chapter for you, and I want you to either close your eyes and listen, or look at the words and read along. Okay? Here's 1 Corinthians 13. If I speak with the tongues of mankind and of angels, but do not have love, I have become a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. And if I give away all my possessions to charity, and if I surrender my body so that I may glory, but do not have love, it does me no good. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. Love is not brag. It is not arrogant. It does not act disgracefully. It does not seek its own benefit. It is not provoked. Does not keep an account of a wrong suffered. It does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. It keeps every confidence. It believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but if there are gifts of prophecy, they will be done away with. If there are tongues, they will cease. If there is knowledge, it will be done away with. For we know in part, and prophecy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will be done away with. When I was a child, I used to speak like a child, think like a child, reason like a child. When I became a man, I did away with childish things. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face, now I know in part. But then I will, just as I also have been known before. But now, faith, hope, and love remain. These three. But the greatest of these is love. God, I pray. Dear God, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for your care. Thank you for the love that you've shown that I haven't always, that I don't deserve. Help me make sure that the church that I am a part of, the love that I live out, let that be yours. Let the love the life that I lead be shaped by you. Let the life that I lead be moved by you. We trust you, and we need you nearly. Amen. I would stand up, everybody. There's something.